Belshazzar, a prominent figure in the biblical narrative, is recognized as the firstborn son of Nabonidus, the last king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. His name, derived from the Akkadian, Bel-Shar-Usur, translates to, Bel, protect the king. Belshazzar's role and historical existence have been subjects of extensive discussion, particularly within the teachings of Jehovah's Witnesses, as detailed on their official website, jw.org. Historical context and lineage. The Bible introduces Belshazzar in the book of Daniel, specifically in chapter 5, where he is depicted as the king of Babylon hosting a grand feast. For a considerable period, secular historians questioned Belshazzar's existence due to the absence of his name in historical records, which primarily identified Nabonidus as the reigning monarch during Babylon's fall. This skepticism led some to challenge the Bible's historical accuracy. However, archaeological discoveries have since corroborated the biblical account. In 1854, a significant find was made in the ancient city of a clay cylinder inscribed with a prayer for the well-being of Nabonidus and his eldest son, Belshazzar. This artifact provided tangible evidence of Belshazzar's existence and his status as Nabonidus's son. Further studies suggest that Belshazzar's mother might have been Nitocris, a daughter of Nebuchadnezzar II, making Belshazzar Nebuchadnezzar's grandson. This familial connection aligns with the biblical references to Nebuchadnezzar as Belshazzar's father, a term that, in ancient contexts, could denote a forefather or predecessor. Co-regency and authority. Historical records indicate that Nabonidus spent a significant portion of his reign away from Babylon, particularly in the city of Tema. During these absences, he entrusted the kingship to Belshazzar, effectively making him the co-regent. This arrangement is evidenced by the verse account of Nabonidus, which states that Nabonidus entrusted the kingship to his eldest son during his campaign in the west. Additionally, the Nabonidus Chronicle mentions that while Nabonidus was in Tema, the prince, the officers, and his army were in Babylonia, indicating Belshazzar's administrative and military responsibilities. jw.org. Despite his significant authority, Belshazzar remained the second ruler in the empire, subordinate to Nabonidus. This hierarchy is reflected in the biblical account where Belshazzar offers Daniel the position of third ruler in the kingdom, for interpreting the mysterious writing on the wall, acknowledging his own position as second. The feast and the writing on the wall. One of the most notable events involving Belshazzar is the grand feast described in Daniel chapter 5. During this banquet, Belshazzar, under the influence of wine, commanded that the sacred vessels taken from Jehovah's temple in Jerusalem be brought in so that he and his guests could drink from them while praising Babylonian deities. This act of desecration was a blatant display of disrespect toward Jehovah, the God of Israel. jw.org. In the midst of the revelry, a disembodied hand appeared and wrote a mysterious message on the palace wall. The king's wise men were unable to interpret the writing, leading the queen, believed by some scholars to be Belshazzar's mother, Nitocris, to recommend Daniel, known for his wisdom and previous service under Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel interpreted the inscription, mean, tekel, and parsin, as a divine judgment. Mean. God has numbered the days of your kingdom and brought it to an end. Tekel. You have been weighed on the scales and found deficient. Parsin. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Despite the ominous interpretation, Belshazzar honored his promise and appointed Daniel as the third ruler in the kingdom. However, that very night, Babylon fell to the Medo-Persian forces led by Cyrus the Great, and Belshazzar was killed, marking the end of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. jw.org. Archaeological corroboration. The historical accuracy of the biblical account has been further supported by archaeological findings. In addition to the clay cylinder from other inscriptions have been discovered that reference Belshazzar. Notably, while official records often refer to him as Crown Prince, the Book of Daniel's designation of Belshazzar as king aligns with the practice of using such titles in less formal contexts. An example of this is a statue from ancient Gozan, where the Assyrian inscription labels the figure as governor, while the Aramaic inscription refers to him as king, reflecting local perceptions of authority. jw.org. Conclusion. Belshazzar's life and reign serve as a compelling intersection of biblical narrative and historical record. The convergence of scriptural accounts and archaeological evidence underscores the reliability of the Bible's portrayal of historical events and figures. For Jehovah's Witnesses, these findings reinforce their faith in the scriptures as an accurate and inspired record of God's dealings with humanity.